Well, what an honor it is to introduce all of you to BC3's new interim president, Megan Coval. Megan, we're so excited that you're on the Butler Buzz with us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
This is such an exciting time for you and your family and for the college. But I want to start, Megan, because I think this is always, the audience loves to learn a little bit about you and your story. You're originally from Butler. Could you kind of tell us about that?
Yes, I am from Butler. Grew up right near the Clearview Mall. In fact, my parents are just now selling the home they've had for 51 years.
Oh,
so that's
nice.
how long they've been there. So Butler is absolutely home for me. And I have lots of friends here still, lots of people that I graduated, and it's wonderful to be here.
Okay, so you went to Center Township Elementary School.
Yep.
So did my kids.
Okay.
And then you went to Butler. You graduated from Butler Senior High School. And from what I remember of reading about you, Megan, then you went on to Allegheny College.
Yes.
And you majored in political science and communication.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then after that, you decided to get your master's at Penn State.
Yes. Yeah. So, you're in college, you're studying. I studied political science, and you have that moment where you say, what do I
do with
a political science degree? But I loved it. I loved studying that. But in college, I was really involved. And I also got to love higher education and realized, oh, hey, there's people that work in higher education. And so kind of got my wheels turning. And I started to look for master's programs where I could study higher education, but kind of have an angle of the policy side of higher education.
Okay, very smart.
Yeah, and Penn State had one of those programs. It was great, higher ed administration, and then I was able to do kind of a policy focus. So it was sort of a great marriage between my interest in political science and also higher education and all of the policy that's actually behind that.
Okay, I see. That's why we love these stories. So then your first job in higher education was admissions.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then you transitioned to working in Washington, D.C. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my first job was in admissions at Penn State. And I tell everyone all the time that was the perfect first job because, up until that point, I hadn't been on a plane by myself, and all of a sudden I'm traveling. I did all out-of-state recruitment. So I was in Florida, California. I had 12 states all over the place. Got to be on my own a little bit, come out of my shell a little bit, learn how to public speak, talk to all kinds of different people in different situations all across the country. So it was a really, really good first gig for me. But that whole time, I still kind of had that policy and political science part of me that was nagging a little bit. And I had a great professor at Penn State who connected me with an opportunity in Washington, D.C. For a subset of the Department of Education that was hiring for a position that was focusing on student financial aid policy. So policy surrounding things like the federal student loan programs or the Pell Grant, the big grant program at the federal level.
Wow, that is exciting.
Yeah.
And then not that long ago, a little over 2.5 years, you came back to your hometown to work at BC3.
That's right.
And if I get this right, please help me. You were before you're being the president, the BC3 Executive Director, BC3 Foundation Executive Director and External Relations.
Yes.
All right.
That's correct.
So you've been doing that and you have accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, in the short amount of time that Megan has been there, she has helped the college raise over $7 million.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Well, I would say emphasis on helped, right? So I kind of came in at a really interesting time for the college. So many of your viewers may remember that we had a really big year last year. We opened up our Victor K. Phillips Nursing and Allied Health building. And that was a wonderful achievement. And I kind of came in right as we were breaking ground for that building. And we had about half of those funds raised, excuse me. So when I came in, I just kind of hit the ground running and worked on making some new connections and utilizing some connections I had even from my experience in DC to help get some additional funds for the building. And it just took off. And so got to see it built in front of our own eyes, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful achievement.
Well, I'm blessed to work with Megan. She is very amazing at building relationships in the community.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to be great as our president and leading us.
Thank you.
But let's get back to the foundation because you do, as a representative of the college, know a lot about this, right? We have the golf outing that's coming up. It's the 29th annual golf outing for the BC3 Education Foundation.
That's correct.
What's the date of that?
Friday, August 2nd.
Okay, and it's at what?
It's at Old Stonewall Resort in Elwood City. That's where we always have it. It's a tradition of ours to stay there. So,
yeah, well, 29 years.
29 years.
Now, there are still spots for foursomes.
Yep.
There are still sponsorship opportunities. You can always donate a basket. Would love to see you participate. And how can they learn more about this?
Yeah, they can visit BC3's main site, which will then lead you to our foundation site, and you can get some more information there. Or also our BC3 news page. We have all the information about the sponsorship opportunities, the foursomes that are still left, and just other ways that you can support the college in general, even if you couldn't come to the golf outing.
All right. Well, Megan, we're going to ask you, will you come back and see us?
Yes.
And give us an update on BC3 maybe in the fall.
I would love to do that.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.